Alright, so here we go. We're going to start streaming. Alright, I got two neurons here. They were originally merged together, so that means they were one color. Um, Actually, there's three neurons here, or at least two neurons and a neurite. This red one here was also merged in. I separated it from this location. As you can see, there's still some of it. This sort of membrane area gets really blurred because there's, several neurons butted up against there. So the AI that draws these neurons or fills in the color got that part wrong, so that's why we proofread it to make sure that it's proofreading correctly. So we're just going to get rid of that because that's not the neuron we're interested in. I put a little annotation point. Let's see, here's my annotation layer. So I put a couple points on the soma of this one just so I didn't lose it and think that this is the one I was working on, so we're going to get rid of that. And now we're kind of down to the bare bones of this cell. So as you can see, it's kind of really scraggly. If you've never seen a neuron, you might think, what is this? It's like some nerds on a rope, shredded lettuce, confetti glued together. And what we're going to do, because we're proofreading, is we're going to go through, we're going to remove errors like you've just seen. We're going to look at suspicious spots. So here you can see this part of the membrane wasn't filled in. Let's see if I could double click that, what I get. Okay, so it hasn't loaded into 3D yet because this is clearly something very large and disgusting. Yeah, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. But that's not what we're working on, so we're just going to leave that piece out because it's not super important for the project that we're working on to get every little super voxel. So we're going to check anything that kind of looks like a triangle. We want to check that. Anything that looks like a little bump, we want to check that. And usually the soma kind of just looks like a raisin with a string. Usually there's nothing on this string, at least thus far in these cell types that I have looked at from this data set. So that could change, of course. Okay, this is, okay, good. Alright, I thought this was two different things. That would have been pretty funny. Okay, so they link up. So that part's pretty good. Now I'm going to try to orient myself to the cell, just so I have kind of like a visual picture of what the cell looks like. And because there's so many branches, let's see if we can count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll count that. 7, 8. So there's 8 branches, 9 if you want to count this one, even though that's kind of its own. So you can kind of get lost. Of course, we could put down annotation points to sort of help ourselves remember where we've been. I like to use the segments that I double click as sort of a breadcrumb trail. So here you can see that it's synapsing. You have like a little T-bar, cleft, some vesicles. So that's going to be your telltale sign that there's a synapse. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the segment, but it does help you recognize that it could possibly end there. This one appears to not end. So as you can see, I'm looking mostly in the 2D, but I'm clicking around in the 3D because scrolling in the 2D is really slow. As you can see, the axis kind of moves slowly when I scroll. Also, I don't want to get repetitive strain injury in my middle finger. So I'm just clicking around, just macroing. So here we have another T-bar, sort of a cluster of different branches synapsing with this neuron. You can see the little T there. See if I can scroll in. That's why we call it T-bar, because it has these sort of frills that pop up. This one was cut in a way that it looks more like a T-bar than some of the other ones. So that's pretty much done there. So the goal is to connect as many neurons to this neuron as possible. We want to know uh, how many neurons connect to this neuron. So getting every little tiny bit is not as important because if it's already sort of synapsing with something, then we know that it communicates with that one, and that's sort of good enough for our project. So the way I've oriented the cells, I'm going to look at it like this. So some on the bottom, furthest bit on the top, and I have this kind of curly Q shape. So that's going to be my like mental picture of where I start the cells. So to me, I'm going to start at the 9 o'clock position, take out that branch, and then I'm going to go do the same. So I'll probably go 1, 2, 3, and I'll get any of the smaller branches along the way. So then once that one's done, I'm going to save the long one for last just because it's easy to do. Then I'll go up, and whatever the next branch is, so this one, that's the one I'm going to do after this one. Then I'm going to do that one. Then I'm going to do this next one. Then we'll come up with a method for getting those frilly bits once we cross that bridge. So as you can see, the alignment right here is a little bit jumpy. That's okay. We can still find the right path. So that one kind of disappears there. I'll turn off the segmentation so you can see. So there's some sort of little synapsing happening right there. It's not like all the vesicles are sort of up here, but there's 1, 2, 3 vesicles and something that's reminiscent of a T-bar. So I would say, yeah, this T-bar pops off, and this is like one of the frills. Oh no, wait, that's what's that called? I forget what it's called. An ER, yeah, endoplasmic reticulum. It goes throughout like the whole thing. So if you want, you can follow that dot to oblivion. And it also expands sometimes like that. Okay, but this sort of smudge, I think, goes boop, 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 and it kind of hooks up over here. So I don't think these two are the same, but let's double click it just to sort of get a picture of what that is. So I'm looking right here, and this kind of looks like it either disappears or becomes this. And that sort of connects with whatever this synapse is. But it does also kind of convincingly look like it's part of this. So we're going to disregard that, at least for the moment. Actually, let me take a closer look here. Yeah, fly can be pretty difficult sometimes. Now, I like the pinky stuff. The pinky sort of mouse neurons are smooth tubes and bulbous spines. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to leave that one out. I think it's fine to cut that bit there. We have it connecting with this. I think it's safe to assume that this jump is not sort of a continuation, but this one sort of closes and this one opens at the same time. So if we had sort of a slice in between that, that could maybe clarify for us. But we don't, so we're just gonna keep going with what we got. Continuing on. As you can see, we have this little endoplasmic reticulum just going around all the way, the ER, as I will now refer to it as. Got some dense vesicles over there. Again, I'm checking just any sort of bump. That's usually where you get site activation or continuations, and we want to get as many large continuations as possible. Sort of the best bang for your buck, best money for your time, all that good stuff. So it looks like this one continues. And it looks like it synapses with this cluster sort of on top. If this was the axon, or the axonal piece, and this was the spine that we just found. Just sort of touches the top of it. So I'm lost. I'm just gonna go back to my root. Okay, here we are. Okay, so we went here. I know I've been there. I'm up here. I know I've been here. So same sort of methodology. The next thing would be this thing to check, then that thing, then this thing. Gonna check the triangles along the way. Here we have an example of a triangle continuing. So very subtle, just little boop, pops off. And connects with that. So that would be good to have. We like connections. Might be the case that it was already connecting with that somewhere else. Let's see. Doesn't look like it, so that's a win in my book. Alright, this one connects there. Whoa, okay, let's consider this. Okay, yeah, it's legit. So it connects here, sort of goes down, pops off. Oh, we'll say what now? Okay. Oh, did you see that? It was covered. I thought this was one thing, but it's two things. It's a good thing to reference the 3D. Connects there, and connects here. Very good. Ooh, look at that. Look at all those connections. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, so here we have a possible this piece. What do we think about that? Well, it's possible. In Fly, anything is possible. And it disappears as I predicted. What do we think here? No, that kind of disappears. I'm imagining all these will disappear. Oof, that's tough. Okay. We're gonna go with this as a optional piece. Oh boy. Yeah, so as you can see, sort of the further you get out on a branch, the more scraggly it becomes. But you want to be careful because you never know if you are connecting sort of scraggly bit with some other neuron scraggly bit. So follow it out. It's getting larger. That's concerning. But getting closer to the truth, which is what we want to do. Whew, that's tough. Okay, so I think, yeah, we got synapse here. So all that for that, nice. That's something maybe the time wasn't worth it, but you're gonna go down these rabbit holes in search of sort of the big piece, right? Because same thing was here. I didn't know there was gonna be this, but lo and behold, we have a worthwhile segment on our hands. Okay, so we got a little synapse here. That's very good. That border is suspicious. This one. I don't really like that. Oh. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm gonna go with that's the end. Executive decision. So here we have another synapse. Very good. Synapse right there. Possible continuation on IL-3. And I'm gonna go if that's fine. Again, also fine. Ooh, a little bit blurry. Probably why the AI was unable to. Okay. So here we begin to question all of our past connections. We have to re-examine our whole life. Okay, so I remember when I said it could connect from, you want to be sure that it's connecting to its sort of scraggly bits and not something else's scraggly bits. So when I look at this in the 3D, I look for directionality. So it might look like it's sort of random, but it works with a lot of right angles, right? So right angle, right angle. It's sort of line, thing, perpendicular, line, thing, perpendicular. So to me, this is line, thing, perpendicular. So I'm pretty sure the pink is good. And this is line, thing, somewhat, right angle to it. And this is a right angle, but this is the weakest right angle. So I'm going to re-examine this. And I'm going to see that there's a synapse here, which is very important to notice. So it is possible that we made a mistake somewhere along this branch. So I think, yeah, so right here is probably, let's see, okay, so this buds off, disappears. This is actually connected to that. Okay, so this is in part, and this, okay, bam, right there. Okay, so our boy ends here, and a new thing pops up right there. So it's kind of synapsing further away, and ours is synapsing closer. So let's see, ours is synapsing, where was it? Right there. Okay, so we're gonna split. This will be the first split that you guys see. So what we have to do to split is we go up to our fly segmentation layer. We go to the multi-cut tool, we click the first dot, we smack a dot down, we click blue to red, and we remember what we're doing, and we put another dot. You can put more than one dot if it's crazy, but I think this split's gonna work. Okay, so the split is finished. If it wasn't finished, you'd see sort of it loading down here. So we're gonna abort multi-cut so we can sort of get rid of that gray area. You can see there's sort of a box of emptiness here. Usually takes a few refreshes. Well, took one refresh. The larger the segment, the more refreshes it's usually going to take. And we're going to get rid of this big guy, and we're going to get rid of this and that, and all of the things we worked on. But that's okay, because eventually, what was it? We wanted this piece, I think. Yeah. Eventually, we'll probably work on those other cells, and they will be somewhat proofread in the meantime. So this could be a thing. Did we not get this? Yeah, we went past it. Okay, that's right there. All right. Very good. Excellent. I'm looking at these synapses, and I'm saying excellent, very good, very good. Questionable. And there we go. So here we have this kind of, this is a merger, right? So there's a border. It's, I'm guessing it's this piece. And that's part of this. But it's such a small piece, and it doesn't really affect anything that it is acceptable. And let's see. So say we wanted to try to remove it. So as we remember, we click this in the segmentation layer, of course. And as I hover over this, you can see it's one supervoxel. So Can you guys see that? What if I change it? Okay. Let me change the opacity. Oh, is it fully opaque? Surrounding segments? Tis fully opaque. Okay. So you can kind of see it highlights sort of a group of pixels, right? So each of these is a supervoxel. It's a collection of pixels that makes these sort of segments in 3D. So this one, you can see the whole thing is lit up. That means the computer sees it as one thing, so I can't split any piece of it off. So even though I would want to split that off, because it's such a low percentage of the entire piece that is actually a good piece that I want, it's not a big deal, and we can move on from that, and it's okay. But if that was like a connection with a synapse that this neuron wasn't connected to, we would be a little bit more, um, we would want less to add it. Okay. So L gets you to change all the colors of things, which is really useful just for a good macro. I like to have the main thing sort of a dark purple. I don't know why, but I find it easier on the eyes. If everything's green, it's like I'm blind. Okay. So we went. I'm lost again, right? So let's find our anchor. So big thing up, little raisin down, curly Q, right there. Where have we been? So we went down here, we went over here, we went up here, we found that. And I do believe we did not look at this or this yet. So let's just take a look at the tips. It's good. Excellent. Even if we did look at them, it's good to take, sort of a second glance. But you don't want to re-review everything, so just get it all checked up. Is that part of that? Yes. Okay. But it's also a merger, so let's check it. Can we? We cannot. So even though that's a good piece, we can't connect it because splitting it would split off also the good piece of the other thing. So we're going to leave that where it lie. Oops. I placed a dot. I didn't want to do that. To avoid that, I will go to the rendering tab. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next branch. And we're going to go on like this until the entire cell is complete. So this gives me some concern. Is that a barrier? It does look like a barrier. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to follow it in the 2D as best I can. Okay, so that's just a little tiny merger, so it's fine. You're going to get a lot of these micro mergers. So here we have another sort of micro merger, but I'm checking whether this is an important piece. This counts as both of those, and we already, let's see, I think we already have a synapse there, so it's not super important to add that. Check, check, check 1, 2. Synapse, synapse, synapse. Did we check down here? Say what? Okay. Excellente. Very good. Here we have an invagination. It's one neurite. Sort of has a piece of itself inside of another neurite. That can cause lots of problems with the AI because there's organelles, which are just, sort of things inside of things that are supposed to be there, and then there's these sort of, as you can see, there's a lot of them right here, pieces inside of other pieces that actually belong to other things. So when the computer has to decide, is that an organelle? Is that a membrane? What's going on? I imagine that's difficult for the machine to do. Okay, these are, I don't really like this connection, but we're going to follow it out and see where it's going. Does this one now? Okay, this connects to this. I'm doubting this is, yeah. Okay, so I think this is part of this. So we had a weird connection, we followed it out, we discovered what was there. I'm going to take another look at it and move on. So check this triangle looking piece. Another synapse there. We're going to check this. It's kind of weird looking. So that's a jump, but it's not egregious. So I'm not in disbelief quite yet. I'm starting to, okay, no. Looks okay. So this is a large synapse, very cool. Always good to get those. This is getting very squiggly. Okay. Is this real? Is this real life? Oh my god. Yeah, so there's some things that you can't with much confidence declare. And we don't want any false positives, so grow it till you can't. And if you think it's worth noting, you can always drop a annotation point or make a note or something like that. So here, this pink one. Is it this? Is it? Is it though? Let's check a little bit more. What do you guys think? This? I don't know about that. Let's check it anyway. Yeah, so not confident enough. That is good enough. So here we are. I'm not too lost. Okay, maybe I was a little bit lost. Okay, bottom, top. Rezoom in. Just went down here, so let's check this, 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 and that. Alright. Crack the knuckles. Oh! Okay. Very good. Synapse. Excellent. I guess that's fine. Where's it ending? Right here? We're gonna need some more inspection. Oh no, totally good. Alright. Check the nubs. This whole branch is questionable. As here, you can see here the ER. It's doing a little expanding. Lots of organelle traffic. Looks like a traffic jam of organs. Look at this smooth jump. Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. It's at it. Connected up. Is that disappearing or continuing? I think it's a disappearing, but let's touch this. Yeah, that is something else. Connection. Here we go. We got this long one, sort of pitchfork area. Oh boy, that's a jump. Okay. Let's trace this boy out. Nice, we got a nice little synapse right there. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. This is a common area, or common motif. You get. Oh, you can't see my fingers when I'm pointing, but here, wait. Let's. Okay, so right there you get this guy, that guy, our guy, this thing, and this thing, and they're all synapsing in this gray area right here. So keep your eye right there. And underneath you get the vesicles. This is a T-bar, but cut, instead of like T-shaped, it's cut like this. So the top of the T is like, wah. It's like, wah. So here's a piece of it. There's the sort of the base, the vase of flowers, and then bam. Huge, huge synaptic zone. Lots of information being transferred. Chemicals, I guess, not information. Is a chemical like a piece of information, or it's just a signal? Can signals be information as well as signals, or are they just signals? I don't know. These are the things I don't have the answer to. Just a humble tracer here. Okay, so here we have another small merger. We do the highlight thing. Let's see. So, yeah, it's a bit much. So we're going to leave that in, especially because there's no synapses connected. It's not as terrible to do so. So here we have a jump. Or not a jump, I should say. It's just sort of a pinch thing. So it's one thing, then it's two things. I'm guessing this is membrane, but it's not this membrane. So we're gonna say that this is probably still a piece of our guy. And if it gets crazy, we'll just get rid of it. Okay, so here, I think that's fine. I think this is too much, but let's what the blazes? What is this? Really? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and this is a merger for that. So yeah, totally good. Sometimes you gotta accept the weird jumps. Or at least hear them out, because your initial sort of disbelief could lead you down the path of bad. And we want to be going down the path of good, so so this looks good here. For science, of course. For the the integrity of your own work, you want to do good work, right? So here we go, another path. Follow it. What does your heart say? It says maybe we shouldn't have followed it, so no harm, no foul. Just get rid of it. And we move on. See? Got an endpoint. Okay. I'm gonna hear him out. You know, you never know. Okay. What about over here? It's a jump if I've ever seen one. It's a big boy. Yeah, we heard him out, but we didn't like what they had to say, so now we're just gonna walk away. What about you? Okay, so this is tough. What's this? That looks like more our style, right? This is kind of a thick, sort of defined, very bold sort of continuation. Could lead to prosperity, but... And it ends. Okay. The plot thickens. Let's go back here. Let's go back. You know, let's change this color to green. And let's change you to red. Okay, so we're purple, and we're coming through. We pinch, we somewhat connect here. Life is good, we continue on. But this, I think this, does it go anywhere else? And really nothing over here? Oh, what's that? Hold up. This could be our saving grace. Oh, that's a huge jump. Okay. Okay, it's getting more complicated. Okay, I have a feeling this is going to lead us to the answer right here. No. Oh, God. Okay, set of answers. We have more questions. That's okay. So, oh, God. This is a tough one. So what are we thinking here? What do we know so far? Right angles. Right angle, right angle, right angle, right angle. So what does this look like to us? Right angle? Right angle? It's possible. This is disgusting, right? This is a miniature right angle. And this is almost sort of symmetric in a way. Kind of fractally, right? Like boom, 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 boom. You know, I'm a believer, right? Let's check this out. You know, we didn't really look at the green one yet, right? So maybe this will have some answers for us. Questions. Questions that need answering. But you've only just arrived. Yes, we need Gandalf's wisdom here. So, oh boy, don't do it. Oh, it's gonna do it. Is that thing? No, that couldn't possibly be. Say what? What? Okay. Alright. So we have this. That disappears. No, it keeps going. So here, what is this? I don't know. some sort of pinch, hair. What does it look like? It's a tear. So these happen because this is a piece of tissue, right? You can imagine if you had a wet piece of tissue paper and you sort of just stretched it, you're going to get these tears, right? So this is very thin organic material. So you get these sort of things on the slices every now and then. And they cause trouble. But the human mind is good at filling in the blanks. So let's see if we're up to the task. So to me, this looks like that connects to that. I don't know what you guys think. And if this connects to that, and our guy is this, which would make me think it's that, I don't really see anything else. So again, if we're not confident, just go to the next thing. Right? We want to get something done. So we're gonna say that's legit. It's just too legit to quit. So it gives us no signs that it's bad, and we want to go down the path of good. But you know, I think it's fine. All right. What about this guy? Much easier. They're not all going to be like the previous one. That's tough to trace. What do we think? This thing looks kind of cool. Looks good. Kind of splits off synapses in a variety of locations. What about that? Not a continuation. No, it's just an ending. What about this piece? Hey! Look at that. It's like perfectly, no reason it should not have picked that up. Actually, I wonder, is there anything else on this axis that didn't get picked up? Huh. Nope. Why would it not see that? It's interesting to me, enough for me to whip out the handy dandy annotation tool. I'm going to control left click to place a dot, and I'm going to name this dot. Why didn't the AI get this trace? Question. Is this the dot that we accidentally placed earlier? Yeah, it's just like in oblivion, I think. Right? There's this? Yeah, there's that dot, and there's this dot. So we're just gonna garbage can that dot and then go back to our dot so that we don't get lost. Did we check this? We did. Okay. So here we go. Long thing on top, raisin at the bottom, curly Q in the center. We just finished this branch, that branch. So let's go down this branch. Back. Don't think that's a transition. I think those are two different objects. But for the sake of argument, let's just double click it. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my god. Is it really connected? That's insane. Okay. You know, your brain is like smarter than you are, right? So when I looked at that, consciously I'm like, no, there's no way this is a connection. But something in me was like, check it anyway. Right, this little tiny voice that I could have just dismissed, like, nah, whatever, it's stupid, it'd be easier not to check it. But to me, I was like, well, why do I think this is worth checking? And I think that it's because our brains are smarter than we give them credit for. So your dopamine receptors are picking up on sort of patterns. Oh my god, am I just about to ruin myself right now? Okay. Dopamine receptors are picking up on patterns. This might be part of something else. So it's really good for pattern recognition. Damn it. But hold up. Is this part of this? Find out on the next episode of probably not part of this. Okay, so this goes to here, goes to here, goes to this, goes to that. Okay, so now it was worth checking. Okay, that was the main point. So this, yeah, bam. This is, again, one thing closing, another thing opening. If we had a slide in between, we'd probably get to see that. Why I thought it was part of it is because I forgot about this. So this is a feature that we've recognized before in Fly that has no technical name, but colloquially, or however you say that word, it is called a pipe. And the reason why it's called a pipe is because it's like one or two slides of just a pin, like a tiny little circle of, almost just, let's zoom in as much as we can. So here's the purple one. Alright, can we get this in 3D? Yeah. So it's, yeah, I mean the 3D, this is just the, 90s 3D PlayStation 1 right now. But, so here's the yellow. And, okay, so there's the pixels, right? So let's put our axis right on those pixels. Let's turn it on. Yellow to there to purple to here, right? And you can kind of see the purple gearing up for this pipe, right? So here's our guy, boom, sort of squinching off here. I don't know if that's a word. It's becoming a circle. It's still around, and it's still not, membrane, right? And there's still gray. And then boom, here. So let's zoom out. Let's, what is this? Is the other one. And that's kind of a right angle of this, even though that's sort of a right angle of that. We're going to say it belongs to the yellow one. So, long story short, pipes exist. Let's zoom out here. That's too close. And you want to look out for them because they're going to help you determine something is or isn't connected, or at least they're going to give you another tool for your proofreading of the Fly. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we ran into another pipe before the day is done. Here we go. So what do we got here? What do we got here? Just sort of a mudslide of neurons. The only thing I'm looking at here, yeah, I think this is just sort of GG. Good game. Slid in. Maybe it's synapsing with whatever that is. But let's see. Click this, which I think is connected to that. Let's get that on the board. So sometimes you want to sort of fill in everything around it to determine what that's a part of to help your final decision. So is that a pipe? We just talked about it. Maybe? Ooh, this is getting dicey. Yeah, I don't like the look of that. So I think without confidence, we're just going to refrain from adding that. We're going to distance ourselves from that piece. And we're going to check something else. Looks good. Looks good again. Good once more. Here we got another sort of Cheeto blade cut through our segmentation. Okay. What do we got here? Was this a thing? This is the question you have to ask yourself. You can imagine after doing this for 8 hours or 16 hours or however long of a fly neuron session you're interested in, that it's maddening sometimes. Not even the fly that is, this is its brain. They didn't even have to do this, right? They just sort of grew these naturally. Imagine if you had to trace your own neurons. That'd be crazy. Alright, so we're going down. Got sort of a little claw here. Then we got the pitchfork. And then we're finally going to be past the first segment. What is this? Did I put a thing here? I didn't mean to put a thing here. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, let's, we're going to go back to the segmentation and rendering tab so that we don't accidentally put points. So there's control scroll. So I can scroll one-handed with the scroll wheel, or I can hold control and scroll, and I get the zoom in and out, which is also the zoom in and out over here. If I just scroll here, it's the same as scrolling over here, except it's panning, it looks like. Okay, cool. But it's also control left click to place a point. So you often, if you don't realize you're in the annotation tab, you're just going to be thrown down. What is this? Could this be? Alright, so that's a jump. Boop. Nice. Ends there. Perfect. And, okay, so its synapses here, wraps around. And synapses over there. So there and there. Really wants to talk to whatever that is. Okay. Let's see, another synapse. Very nice, very nice. What do we got? Did we check this? We did check that. Let's just check it one more time. Perfect. Excellent. Very good. Cool. Uh-oh, what do we got? So here we have another merger, possibly. Which I think this turns into that. Swoops over there. But again, it's one super voxel, so not much we can do about that. Alright. Very good. Has this been an hour? I think we have 2 minutes left. So let's see if we can finish this branch in 2 minutes. And then we can continue. So this, you're like, why is there a blank slide? We just don't have it. That's the answer. So you got to kind of fill in the blanks, right? So so to me, I see it going up over here, and then it's kind of lost forever, but maybe it's this. Oh, I don't think so, right? Look at this. This is connected to something, obviously. Oops, this thing. So this is another error. I think this is condensation or something. Oh, it's very kind of cool, actually. Where can we see that? Yeah, so this is, whoa. You guys want to see the whole brain before we're done? I don't even know if we have the power to load this. One more bite of the sandwich. Almost there. So it's loading it in chunks, right? Square by square. I guess it's easier to store the data like that. I'm not really sure. But here you can see more missing data on the sort of side. Most of that side data we don't need. What's going on over there? It's like somebody's fingerprint or something. Oh God, where were we? Oh yeah, we were right here. We decided that that was not a connection. Anyway, maybe you can get it like a, yeah, here we go. So you can see this is the brain. I'm not sure what those circles are. This is a Drosophila fly brain. Very good, very good. Okay. So let us remove this other cell. We're going to okay that. We're going to keep going. We're going to... Let's finish up the pitchfork, and then we'll be done with the stream for now. Okay, check that. Maybe zoom in one more. Excellent. Oops. Here? No. Here? No. What about here? Are we seeing things? What's going on? We gotta refresh. I don't see it in the 3D, or the 2D rather. Ooh. There we go. Nice. Have you tried turning it on and off again? What's that? Is that a pipe? Did we learn about this? I think we did. Very good. Don't know if that's necessary since there's already synapse of that neuron. Get the mind field. Okay. Sort of. Is this? Okay. Check here. Looks like mind field interrupted that connection. I'm wondering about this one. Doesn't look like it. Also fine. Checks out, checks out, checks out, and checks out. Check this. Boop. Disappears. This could be another pipe situation. Oh boy. Excellent. Synapse there, synapse there. Check the triangle. Okay, that was a little bit scary. Not scary, but gave me pause to check. Okay, check right here, check right there, check right here. Boop, boop, boop. Gotta check these lumps, you never know. Never know when you get a big branch. I wish I could have found a big branch. Here, we'll do like a big sweep. Sometimes at the beginning of a cell I'll look for any sort of obvious you know, sort of egregious errors, or whether they be mergers or signs of, are we checking the right thing? Okay. Signs of continuations that are sort of blatant, and usually there's, you know, some sort of slide damage or missing slices. So the computer had trouble continuing, but the human sort of fills in the blanks pretty easily. Right. sound. Wait, so this kind of looks like a pipe, but as you can see, there's a full darkness of slide. So that's a membrane being cut parallel to the plane, somewhat like this, where you have full darkness. Here's that sort of pattern that we talked about. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 things getting information from that one node. Don't think that's the right terminology, but 8 neurites synapsing with one terminal. Where does this go? Where does it go? Check that. Yes. Check this. Uh-huh. Alright. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Check this out. Apparently not. Okay. Excellent. Good. Did we check that? Yeah, we did. We checked this too. I think so. It's okay to double check. Yeah. It's all right. So here's another almost identical situation, except here we have a couple of gray pixels, but there's still this little area. So because I'm interested in this case of why the computer did not catch this, and it looks very similar, let's go to the other one. See? Look at that. Same shape. Similar shape. Similar shape, different location. It even has the same, look at this, dot, 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 dot. Not as elongated, the dots be, but still suspicious they are. So I will be putting, as a note for this annotation, same strange same strange disconnection. Oops. Maybe similar, not strange. Same, whatever. It's fine. I'll be verbally interactive with somebody about it, so they will hear my thoughts instead of having to decipher the scriptures that I've written down for them. To put it quite abstractly. So this is a merger. It's not messing up too much stuff. Good. Did we turn this annotation back on? We don't want that. I think that annotation layer has all of the soma locations. So as you can see, we've sort of made decorated the Christmas tree a little bit here. We got this bow finished, and we're gonna go to the next one. But before that, let's try to find a big piece so you guys can sort of see. So here, I immediately saw this large sort of branch. Bam. So there you go. Actually, this could be a merger somewhere here, I'm guessing. Just looking for connections. Why is this connected? Okay, so the merger is here. Yes. Okay. So why did I click here in the first place? Well, if you see here, almost equal distance. Boom, boom, thing. Boom, boom, thing. This is probably actually a merger. Maybe not. Also, this is probably a merger, but this is clearly either a merger or not. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's a merger. Okay. So bam, this is the merger. This is something I might like check in the beginning. Obviously this sort of just ends here, so that's suspicious. So we're going to double click that. And we're going to get a big thing, and that's a soma. So we know that that is a merger. But where? So it could be here, right? I look for subtle changes in direction. So boom, boom. That was weird. So it's possible that our guy went here and ended there, and this is the merger piece. Okay, so more evidence that that's a merger. So this is actually the right spot. So we're going to double click that, and we're going to get a whole cluster of disparate mergers. So, but we're just going to try to follow the good one. You know, follow the good path. That's what we do here. Just following paths, no big deal. And we're going to get another merger. This is typical. Little over the top. But let's, you know, stay the course. So that's a merge piece. So we want this one. Let's get it loaded up. Okay, so that's this. So this is kind of what I would do to solve this problem. You know, I'd go and separate the mergers along the way. But as you can see, you can get large pieces. So let's go back to actually let's remember which one's ours. Okay, ours is the purple one. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so we decided that this looked similar to something like this. So we believe this to be a merger, and we're going to solve that, and then we're going to add the video. So when I look at the directionality, right, so this tells me something's flowing this way and branching out like that. This one, something's flowing this way and branching out like that. Right, so I look for the flow. This is sort of the first V in the tree, second V, third tree, V, fourth V. The V's are getting smaller, the V's are getting smaller. This is a perpendicular sort of angle where it has V's going the other way. So we had V, 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 and then sort of V. So this V is like weird to me. So then I see this, and you see this sort of connection. And as you can see, you guys can all see. So you have an invagination here. So a lot of mergers happen around invaginations. So this is like super synapsing with that, and we want to sort of disconnect that. So what do? We go to the graph, we go to the multi-cut, we click the circle, we zoom in. Try to, so this super voxel highlights this all the way over here, so that's probably one that's going to be hard to separate. So we color as much of the thing we want to split off. You could probably accomplish the same thing with one segment, or sort of one thing, but we want to sort of maintain the integrity of both neurons as much as we can. So let's see what we got. We got the invisible box. Remember I said with bigger segments, you're going to have to refresh a couple times. So let's see. Refresh 1. No. Refresh 2. A little bit extra. Refresh 3. Okay, I'm guessing it's going to take 5 refreshes. Let's close this. Yeah, like, okay. So it's loaded in the 2D. What if we just wait? I don't think it's going to work. Alright, let's refresh. Here we go. Oh, we're missing this piece. Come on. And 5th refresh. 6th refresh. Hey! 6th time's the charm. So now that it's split, you guys can clearly see this is just a separate thing, right? This is one of ours, but this is separate. So we're gonna get rid of that. And now we got a big boy. Alright. So maybe this little triangle right here, this is another big boy possibly? No, it's nothing. Maybe this thing? No. Just sort of exploring. Exploring around, so I would, you know, look at these triangles. So I get this thing, split a merger, split mergers until the cows come up. So we know that was a merger, and we know some of these are mergers. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that sort of ride along during the Fly Neuron experience. I'm just going to head back to the rendering tab as I reposition. We got the raisin at the bottom, got the merger soup up top, and we got the little elbow, right? So what we did this one, and now we're going to this one. So, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll stream it some more next time.